Alright, everybody. Did you guys miss me? I miss you too. So far, so good. We've already done 3 problems, especially that, whatever you call that. So Family Feud. Okay. So now let's go to our next problem, which is item number 4. So here are the questions that we need to do. First, let's read the question and understand. You know the concept that we're still going to do, right? It's still the formula, the concept of hypothesis testing. Tama? So now let's do item number 4. Achi Stephanie goes to Christian Gospel Center every Sunday to praise the Lord for all the blessings. Furthermore, she wanted to know how many people come to church. So in this particular problem, si Achi Steph ay gusto niya she always goes to church every Sunday. So Achi Stephanie, shout out to you po. I do not know how you're doing right now, pero a great big shout out to you because I know I miss you so much and I know you could have helped me one time, especially with my stupid issue with some buanga, especially with my cousin Sam. Shout out to you po, Sam, who's now graduating senior high, going to college, whom I'm always fighting and never stopping my fight. Shout out to you po. So, So now let's go to the problem. So sabi ko dito, si Achi Stephanie Chen, nagpunta siya sa Christian Gospel Center every Sunday so that she can praise the Lord for all the blessings. Furthermore, dahil dyan, she wanted to know how many people come to church. Because it's like every day she goes to church, every Sunday pala, she wants to know how many people come to church. And she estimated it was approximately 200 people who come to Christian Gospel Center. And she attended church there for all the Sundays in a year, and she found out that the number of the church attendees is less than the value she assumed. The sample mean she obtained now is 196, and the standard deviation is 30. Using a 1% level of significance, would you conclude that her analysis is correct? Okay, let's identify the given. First, what is our null hypothesis? The null hypothesis is something that's meant to be true, or claimed to be true, or the initial claim. So what was the null hypothesis? The average number of people who come to CGC is 200. And she estimated that it was approximately 200 people who come to Christian Gospel Center. So therefore, that is the null hypothesis. Pero, we are using alternative hypothesis. So what is the alternative hypothesis? Read the clue. Did you see the clue? She found out that the number of church attendees is less than the value she assumed. Less than. So therefore, it is a one-directional test. And diba kapag sabi ko one-directional test, which area are we going to test? The left or the right? Kung nasa left, ibig sabihin that is on the negative tail. That is on the lower than. Kapag mataas sa right. Like for instance, diba remember yung item number 1 na ginawa ko kanina, where you're using the right tail test for directional test because we want to test if 16 ml is already sufficient. Now, we want to know if it's less. That's why we're using the left tail test. Very good. And then, the sample mean that she obtained is 196. And the standard deviation is 30. And using a 1% level of significance, would you conclude that her analysis is correct? And since we are using a one-tail test, therefore, our level of significance is not divided by 2. So, ganito yung solution sheet. Ito yung sabi ko sa iyo sa item number 4. The mean is 200 people. Mu is equivalent to 200 people. And then our alternative hypothesis is mu is equivalent to 200 grams. That's 200 people. Sorry. Less than, di ba? That is our alternative hypothesis. And then our alpha is 1%, which is our level of significance. And then the level of significance, and then our standard deviation is 30 people. And then, di ba remember, the samples is 7.21. Pero what's the sample size? The sample size is this. If you read through the problem kanina, ang sabi ko dito, she attended church every Sunday and she attended church for all the Sundays of the year. So, di ba remember, all Sundays in a year, ilan yung mga linggo na yan? Do you still remember how many weeks are there in 1 year? And how many Sundays are there? There are only 1 Sundays in a week. So, 1 Sunday in a week, di ba, 1 week is worth 7 days. And how many weeks makes a year? 52, di ba? So 52 weeks, di ba? So therefore our n is 52 because there are 52 weeks and 52 Sundays within a year, di ba? So she attended church there for all the Sundays in a year and she found out that it is 196. So therefore ganito yung ginawa ko. Our sample size is 7.21 because this is 52. So I take the square root of 52 just like that, and we get 7.211103. Then the sample standard deviation is, remember your standard deviation divided by the square root of n, which is 4.160525. And then we compute for z value. Before that, let's look at our given. So we have here our normal curve, and we have 1% level of significance. So our 1% level of significance pertains to what z-score. Ganito siya. Diba remember we are using a left tail test. So for the sake of a left tail test, if you are to put this on the computer, this is very easy. All you have to do is to type normal standard inverse and then 0.01. Diba? Because remember 0.01 is right here. Then the rest is 99%. And then we get our critical level of negative 2.326. If you look at my Z table, as you can see in my stats and props book, if we go to my Z table, as you can see here, we need to find 49%. So where on earth is that 49%? Yan. 2.32 to 2.33. So in between the two values. So we do the linear interpolation method just like that, just like so. So if we are to do this, ganito siya, di ba? Kung nag-linear interpolation tayo, it will go like this. Diba? So we have 2.32, then 2.33, 0.48, what's that score ba? 98, 0.4901, then we have 0.4900. Then, di ba remember, you know already the mechanics? The big Y minus the little y, and then here the big X minus the little x, then here we have the middle Y minus the little y, and then we have x minus 2.32. Tama? This guy here divides out so that we can get this answer, diba? And then we have 0.3 times x. So this 0.3 times x, and then this one, this becomes 0.3 times negative 2.32, and we should get this answer. And then from there, we add both sides. Times negative 1, and we get this. And then from there, we get this answer. Then we divide this by this number. Divide by 0.03. Tama, that's the right answer. 2.3266. So tama, that is our critical value. So therefore, our critical value is at negative 2.32, which is right here. And just what I said, if your computed z-score does not lie within the rejection region, therefore the null hypothesis is accepted. If your computed z value lands on the rejection area, therefore your null hypothesis is rejected. So now let's compute for a z value. First, let's identify what is given. We have our x of 196, our mu of 200, our standard deviation of 30, and square root of 52. So doing this, we do the numbers, we get negative 4, and 30 divided by the square root of 52 is 4.16. Then we divide negative 4 divided by 4.16, and we get a computed z value of negative 0.96. So ganito siya. Diba remember, naglagay ako dito, standardized 196, 200, and L302. And we got this negative 0.96. And negative 0.96 is right here. It does not lie within the rejection region. So therefore, what can we conclude? Therefore, the null hypothesis is accepted. So we try the if formula to verify if this is true. We are using the left tail. So if our computed z value is less than our critical value, our computed z value is negative 0.96. And then our critical level is negative 2.32. If it goes beyond this point, less than, therefore, if correct, this is rejected. If false, accepted. Pero since it's false, it's accepted. So therefore, what can we conclude? Therefore, it is verified that Atchinson's claim is true since the null hypothesis is accepted. Just like so, diba? Kasi nga the question there is, using 1% level of significance, would you conclude that her analysis is correct? And the answer is yes. Her analysis of presuming that the average number of people is 200, but it's getting lesser, is correct. That is the correct answer. So yan. Next, let's go now to item number 5. So for the sake of item number 5, this one can be a bit tricky. But don't worry, it implies the application of what you've learned so far in your hypothesis testing skills. It says here, Teacher K. Gardi. Okay, Teacher K. Gardi, shout out to you po. Because I know you are a busy teacher at St. Theodore School and Tutorial Center. And I wish talaga I hope to see you again because I have many more things to tell you, especially for my new school. So, yeah. So, Teacher K. Gardi works at St. Theodore School and Tutorial Center. Of course, that was a school where I studied at during the past, when I was younger. And every before the end of the month, she receives a monthly salary of 15,000 pesos, which is generally the average. I'm not so sure exactly kung gaano talaga yung average ng mga guro doon, but I'm sure they earn bigger income. Because there was one time I tried to ask my dad regarding about this, tapos sabi yung tatay ko, the St. Theodore teachers, they got a higher average compared to the normal, which is 15,000, which is what I presume. Maybe siguro they earn mga 25,000 per month, mga ganon. I'm not so sure exactly, basta't yun. Okay? And that is 15,000 pesos, which is generally the average. Teacher Eileen, on the other hand, of course, shout out to Teacher Eileen because she's also my teacher in Voc Ed. So, shout out po. I hope to see you soon po, Teacher Eileen. So, Teacher Eileen po does the same thing as well. However, the monthly salary she receives is slightly higher than the general average. They worked there for 8 years, and based on the salaries they received, Teacher K got an average monthly salary of 15,500 pesos. Whereas, Teacher Eileen, on the other hand, got a monthly salary of 16,200 pesos. With a standard deviation of 5,000 pesos, whose hypothesis was rejected. Use a 10% level of significance for this problem. Okay, so of course, it still implies the same criteria for what you've done before. Kaya lang, this problem is getting a bit tricky. Why do you say so? Kasi po, di ba remember now, it says here that Teacher Eileen and Teacher K are working at St. Theodore School and Tutorial Center, and they're working for money. And then at the end of the month, they receive a monthly salary. Diba? Pero, normally, they presume that the average is 15,000 pesos, which is generally the average. So, we identify the null hypothesis, and therefore, that's our null hypothesis. The null hypothesis stated is, get this one. So, our mu is 15,000 pesos. The monthly salary of the teachers every month is 15,000 pesos, which is generally the average. But although we are not so sure, that is preferably to be true. That is Teacher K's idea or claim. Pero when Teacher Eileen does the same thing, she does the same thing, di ba? She works hard at St. Theodore School and receives a monthly salary. Kaya lang, kaso, ang monthly salary niya ay slightly higher than the general average. So what does that mean? Ibig sabihin, the salary, instead of being the normal, it has increased. So therefore, what type of test are we going to do? Kaya nga, diba, remember, not like in the first 3 problems, I have already instructed you what type of test you're going to do. If it's one-tailed or two-tailed. Like for example, diba sabi ko, use a one-tailed test, use a two-tailed test, yung mga ganon. But in here, I did not specify anything what type of test you're going to do. You just have to read the instructions and see if the grammar matches with the type of test that we're doing. For instance, diba remember sa number 4, sabi ko dito, it is less than the accurate number. So therefore, we're using a one-tailed test but in the less than area. This one, we are using a one-tailed test but in the right side area. Kasi nga sabi ko dito, the monthly salary she receives is slightly higher than the general average. So therefore, what do we expect? We expect that the salary is higher. It's gone up. So we are going to test the right tail test. Okay? And with that, we are going to use a 10% level of significance for this problem. So let's identify the given. First, we know that our null hypothesis is 15,000 pesos, diba? And then what is our alternative hypothesis? Our alternative hypothesis is that mu is greater than 10,000 pesos. That is the alternative, diba? Just like that. And now, let's identify what is our level of significance. So our level of significance is 10%. But it was a one-tail test. So therefore, we don't need to divide by 2. But where can we find 10% in our Zay table? Ganito kasi yun. So diba remember, in your normal distribution, you just have to type 90%. Diba? 90% and you will get this, diba? the raw score here or the z-score. Diba? Pero here, you have to find where is the 40%. Nasaan kaya ang 40%? Let's check our z table. At dito natatagpuan siya sa 0.397 and 0.4015. So therefore, that is the two values in between. Those are the two values. It should be in between 1.28 and 1.29. So using 10% level of significance. So we need to apply linear interpolation to solve for the problem. So diba remember, we have 1.28, 1.29, 0.3997, diba? Is that right? 0.4015. And then the mechanics is still the same. Big Y minus little y. Big X minus little x. Middle Y minus middle x. Little x. Tama ba? And then we have x minus 1.28. Diba? Just like that. Here, ang gagawin namin, i-divide. And then we have 0.18. Then this one, we multiply this by negative 1.28. And we should get this answer. And then here, we get this. And then this answer here, we divide it by this answer. So we get, teka, that's wrong. Gets ko na. Tama. Our z-score is supposed to be, our critical value is 1.281667. Did we get that right? Yes, it's right over here. 1.28115. 1.28, diba? 1667. So, tama. That is our computed z value. So, I typed their normal standard inverse and we got 1 minus 0.10% and that is 90%. And we should get this answer of this guy, diba? And if you do both of them, you get the same thing. Now, let's compute for z value. Kasi nga, diba remember, if you already found your critical values, now we need to know which z value is correct. Kasi nga, what is the question? The question is, with a standard deviation of 5,000 pesos, whose hypothesis was rejected? Kasi po, diba remember, it says here that teacher K. Gardy claims that it was supposed to be 15,000 pesos for the average. Ibig sabihin, she normally receives 15,000 pesos. Pero, si Teacher Eileen, on the other hand, she worked hard, pero she got a salary that is higher than Teacher K. Gardy's, which is 15,500, which is, ano yun? 15,000, which is 16,250 pesos. Diba? And it was slightly higher. So now we need to compute if there's really a difference. So what do we do now? We need to standardize two scores. What does that mean? Let's work out with Teacher K. Gardy's first. Kasi po, diba, first let's identify the given. Diba, you remember the X bar, that is the sample mean. What is the sample mean? Diba, sabi ko dito, Teacher K got an average monthly salary of 15,500 pesos. And that is the X bar on Teacher K. Gardy's case. Diba? So, ganito siya. If I use this normal curve, and this is the one for Teacher K. Gardy's. The 15,500, and then, yun nga. Then, diba remember, our mu is 15,000 pesos. Then, our level of significance is 10%. Our standard deviation is 5,000 pesos. And then, our N, which is what you call the sample size. Okay, diba remember, sabi ko dito, they have worked there for 8 years based on the salaries they receive. Kasi nga, 8 years, diba remember, every month they receive a salary. Diba? So, 12 months is equivalent to 1 year. But 8 years, so therefore, it's 12 times 8. So, how many months is that? 12 times 8. For 8 years, 12 months, so that's 96 months. So, therefore, that is the computed z value. That is our sample size N. They have worked there for 8 years. Diba? 8 years is equivalent to 96 months. Because it talks about the monthly salary eh. So, 96. So, therefore, the sample size is 96. So, yan. Ganito siya, di ba? And then we standardize this. 15,500 minus 15,000, that's 500. Then 5,000 divided by the square root of 96, and we get 510.310. Then divide that, and we get 0.98. To show you what I did here in my Microsoft Excel, ganito siya yung ginawa ko. Ang ginawa ko dito ay, di ba remember this solution A? Yung kay teacher K. 15,000, and then the alternative hypothesis is that the mu is greater than 15,000. And then our level of significance is 10%. And then 5,000 pesos. And then the sample. Diba, remember, we take the square root of 12 times 8. Because 8 years and then 12 months in 1 year. And we get 9.7959. Then the sample standard deviation, 5,000 divided by this, we get 510.310. And then our computed Z value is this. We standardize 15,500, 15,000, and 510.310. And then we should get an answer of 0.979. Diba? And that is exactly our computed Z score. That's why we get 0.98. Now, we need to know if this is true. Kasi nga, if you look here, diba, remember where this is the rejection region? Diba, remember 10%, the rejection region lies in 1.28 something. But the Z score, the computed Z score of teacher K Gardi is 0.98. Does it lie within the rejection boundary? Wale. It did not land there. So therefore, it is safe to conclude that the null hypothesis was accepted. So teacher K's assumption is true that the average is still 15,000 pesos, that it did not change. So yan, di ba? So we type the if formula and we type there if our computed Z value, what's our computed Z value? 9.79 is greater than 1.28, but it's not. So therefore, it is accepted. So yan. Now on the other hand, let's go to teacher Eileen's. Diba, remember sabi ko dito, we are not just working on one, but two. Because we want to know which among these two teachers' claims is true. One of them is true and one of them is false. Kaya nga the second one, let's go to teacher Eileen's case. Diba si teacher Eileen, sabi niya that it is slightly higher. And she received 16,200, diba? Yan, 16,250. That is your sample mean. And now we have to standardize. Of course, the formula still implies the same method. You will still do the same thing. And then your computed Z value is still the same. So you have 16,250 minus 15,000, and that's 1,250. And then 5,000 divided by the square root of 96, that's 510.312. And then we divide that and we get a Z score of 2.45. Did we get that one right? Let's see. So we standardize 16,250, 15,000 pesos, then a sample standard deviation of 510, and we should get 2.4494, which is somewhat rounded to 2.45. So tama. Now we look at the normal curve. Diba, remember that is teacher Eileen's, diba? Was the null hypothesis rejected or accepted? Since 2.45 lands on the rejection area where it's beyond 1.28, where the rejection region starts to occur, so therefore the null hypothesis is rejected. So yan. So therefore it is rejected. Yun. Diba? So we type there the if formula and verify if this is true. If our computed Z value of 2.4494 is greater than 1.28, if it's correct, we reject the null hypothesis. If it's not, we accept our null hypothesis. And it's rejected. So therefore, the question was, whose null hypothesis was rejected? And that's teacher Eileen's. Teacher Eileen's null hypothesis was rejected. So we write there in conclusion, it says, teacher K's null hypothesis was accepted, while teacher Eileen's null hypothesis, on the other hand, was rejected. Thus, this concludes the rejection of the null hypothesis is of teacher Eileen's. So yun. That's it.